What's up everyone? In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a song like Isekai by RJ PASIN. If you like the video, please do all that YouTube stuff below. So first off, I'm going to show you how my track sounds. So when coming up with the guitar parts, I just kind of noodled around in E major pentatonic. And if you want to check out the guitar part I wrote, there will be a link to my Patreon for the tabs for that. So the first thing I want to show off is the guitar tone. And for this, I took inspiration from Stroh's video on how he makes his guitar tones. And I'll tag his video below. So for the guitar tone, we actually don't use any amp sim or amp in general. It's just straight guitar DI. So the guitar DI by itself sounds like this. And this was recorded with my 8-string guitar with the single neck pickup. I think to get closer to his actual guitar tone, you should just use a neck pickup. But the first thing I have in the chain here is a compressor with the ratio set to 6:1, attack is set as low as it could go, release is set to 807 milliseconds, and then I'm crushing it pretty hard with a threshold of 49.6. With just that on, it sounds like this. And then after that, I have it going into OTT with just the default settings, but then the depth is set to 30. And then after that, I have this chorus plugin, which is free online called Blue Cat's Chorus. This was just the flangey preset, and I just kind of adjusted it a little bit. With all of those on, it sounds like this. I find that the choruses kind of give the guitars more of that synthy kind of hyperpop kind of sound that RJ really likes. After that, I have an EQ cutting out some low end, cutting out some top end, and then boosting some of the kind of upper mids. And then after that, I have a reverb just to kind of open it up a little bit. So with all of those on, it sounds like this. So now I want to talk about how to get that like slippy and slidey kind of effect that's going on in the guitar. So to get that slide in kind of effect, you need to go to envelopes, change this to clip, and then there's going to be a thing called transposition, and then you can kind of adjust the settings from it. So I have it going from -12 to just 0 right here. So with that, it sounds like this. I should have prefaced this earlier, but I'm obviously using Ableton today, which is the DAW that RJ uses. And to get this effect to work, you need to make sure that the warping is set to Complex Pro, or else these parameters at the bottom won't show up. I'm pretty sure you can get a similar effect in any other DAW using like a pitch shifter plugin, but this is the best way I could find it within Ableton. So I just have this effect on a bunch of different notes. Some are with that sliding in effect, and then the others are like that slide out effect. This is with that slide out effect. Something else that he really likes to do is to have notes just kind of be reversed rather than like the initial pick attack kind of be there. So at the end right here, when I have these repeated notes, it's actually just the reverse of a note, and they're just playing it like copy and pasted a bunch. And for a lot of these different things, I'm taking away the pick attack for a lot of this. That way a lot of the notes just kind of like seamlessly kind of transition into each other. This is a pretty good example right here. Oh, and to also kind of get more of like a hyper poppy kind of effect, some of these parts I actually recorded like an octave lower than what they're sounding, and then I would transpose them within the program up. So like this part right here is a good example. I had recorded it an octave lower, but then I used the pitch wheel up here and pitched it up. This just kind of creates those weird kind of artifacts you hear in like hyperpop kind of music. And then the final thing I have on the lead guitar is it's going into a delay bus, which is the Ableton stock delay, which I have the feedback set to 20%. I have it kind of being like a stereo field with like the ping pong effect and everything. And the last thing before we jump into the other guitar parts, because this is an RJ PASIN song, make sure you're punching in just about every single note. Everything in this is punched in. So now the next thing we're gonna move on to is this group I have right here. And this is what it sounds like soloed. So these are some effects I just wanted to kind of be behind like the main guitar part, which will help the stereo field kind of pop out a little bit more and create some more like ambiance and things like that. So we're gonna start with the bottom one first here. So the guitar tone is the exact same thing from the previous one, just literally copy and pasted it. The only thing that's missing off of it is the chorus, which is not really necessary, you'll kind of see in a second. So the thing I've added onto this is an auto pan, which is going from side to side very, very fast. I have the right sets to 16th notes, and it's hard pan left and right. And this is to really make that stereo field kind of pop out. And then I have another EQ on it. I'm cutting some of the highs out of it just to kind of make it sit more in the background for this kind of thing. So this by itself sounds like this. So I've also automated the volume because I really wanted it to just kind of help a certain guitar part just kind of like pop out. So I have it set to just 0 dB, but then after that guitar part happens, I just cut it right there exactly. So that's what you kind of see here with all these automations. And then the last thing I have it going into is a verb send, which is this Valhalla Supermassive. I have it set to the splashy synth setting. And I really like this reverb to kind of create just like really atmospheric kind of like background noises. And this is a completely free plugin as well. So this other background guitar I have is a similar kind of thing. I just want to make a certain part kind of stand out more. And it's the similar settings to the original tone. I have this wah effect I found on Ableton, and I also have the same reverb that I have the original guitar on it as well too. So this one by itself sounds like this. And for that one, I just really wanted it to kind of be like a sparkle on top. It's like really just kind of barely in there, but it adds a little bit. So all of those together sound like this now. And the last thing I have in this is a kind of rhythm guitar, which is just playing some bass notes. Very simple kind of guitar part, literally only 4 notes. Similar guitar tone, copy and pasted. The only thing that is different on this one is the chorus settings I have. I'm using the clean chorus. I think I just adjusted some of the spread on it, but I really wanted this to sound kind of wide and keeping down the low end. Then I have it going into a reverb, and then it's not going into any of these sends. And that is how to make a song like Isekai by RJ PASIN. If you enjoyed the video and made it this far, please do all the YouTube things below. And again, all the tabs for the parts that I wrote will be in my Patreon for free for you to download. And I'll see you all in the next one.